to the channel. Starting with number 3, Dhaka, one of the most densely populated cities on Earth, where over 23 million people are packed into an area smaller than New York City. That's nearly 70,000 people per square mile, an urban density that defies conventional infrastructure models. Roads, congested beyond imagination, public transport, overloaded, housing, spilling into informal settlements. Yet, somehow, this megacity keeps functioning. But how? Let's talk water. Dhaka's groundwater depletion is staggering, dropping nearly 3 feet per year. The solution? Surface water treatment. The Gandharbpur Water Treatment Plant, a billion-dollar project, aims to supply 500 million liters of treated water daily, reducing reliance on deep aquifers. Yet, the city still faces arsenic contamination, industrial effluents, and sewage mismanagement. Over 80% of wastewater goes untreated, flowing directly into the Buriganga River, once a lifeline, now black with pollution. Then there's transport. The Dhaka Metro Rail, finally operational after years of delays, is projected to carry 500,000 passengers per day. But with traffic speeds averaging just 4 miles per hour, the real challenge remains: integrating bus rapid transit, pedestrian pathways, and cycling lanes in a city where roads occupy only 7% of the land, compared to 25% in major global cities. The math doesn't work. And let's not forget the floods. Dhaka sinks every monsoon. Built on a floodplain, the city relies on embankments, but rapid urbanization has devoured natural wetlands. Result? Flash floods that paralyze entire districts. Engineers now explore sponge city concepts, porous pavements, green roofs, urban canals. But with corruption and bureaucratic inertia, the implementation lags behind. Dhaka's density is a paradox, a crisis, and an opportunity. The question is not just how to manage it, but whether the city can adapt before it's too late. Moving to number 2, stick around. Now, Mumbai. It's a city that shouldn't even function with its density, yet it does. And how? Engineering, infrastructure, and a sheer force of human will. Over 20 million people compressed into just over 600 square kilometers, making it one of the densest urban environments on the planet. That's about 35,000 people per square kilometer. Imagine that! Yet somehow, it's an economic powerhouse, responsible for nearly 6% of India's GDP, handling over 40% of the country's foreign trade through its ports. But let's get technical. Mumbai was built on 7 islands, merged over centuries through land reclamation projects, the earliest recorded in 1784 by the British, using an insane amount of basalt rock quarried from nearby hills. And that's just the start. Today, Mumbai's land reclamation continues. Projects like the Mumbai Coastal Road are expanding usable land, costing over $12 billion and requiring millions of cubic meters of concrete and geotextiles just to hold back the Arabian Sea. Transportation? A miracle of logistics. Mumbai's local train network carries over 7.5 million passengers daily, more than the entire population of Switzerland, on a system barely designed to handle half that. Trains operate at a frequency of under 3 minutes, maximum carrying capacity often exceeded by 200%, leading to the infamous super-dense crush load, where standing room means physically being pushed into the train by other passengers. And here's something fascinating. Mumbai is sinking, literally. Land subsidence due to groundwater depletion, compounded by unchecked construction, has caused parts of the city to sink at rates of up to 2 millimeters per year. Combine that with rising sea levels, and the city is in a race against time. But it's adapting. The Bandra-Worli Sea Link, a marvel of modern engineering, built using over 90,000 metric tons of cement and designed to withstand wind speeds up to 250 kilometers per hour, is just one example of Mumbai's infrastructure fighting against nature. Lastly, we will talk about Manila, where the population density is staggering. More than 70,000 people per square mile. Absolutely mind-blowing. Now imagine this. The entire city, a vast network of streets, buildings, and waterways, crammed into just over 240 square miles, yet home to nearly 14 million people in the metropolitan region. How does it even function? Infrastructure is the heartbeat of Manila, and yet, oh boy, it struggles to keep up. Traffic congestion, some of the worst in the world. Drivers spend an average of over 1,000 hours per year stuck in gridlock. And flooding? A constant battle, thanks to both typhoons and the city's outdated drainage system. Engineers have been working on flood control projects, like the Metro Manila Flood Management Project. But challenges remain: old structures, informal settlements, and, of course, rising sea levels. Now let's talk about something fascinating: Manila's water transport system. The Pasig River Ferry, an alternative to road traffic, yet underutilized due to pollution and lack of investment. Historically, this river was Manila's lifeline. Centuries ago, during the Spanish colonial era, it was the main route for trade and transport. But rapid urbanization led to severe pollution, so much so that in the 1990s, the river was declared biologically dead. Imagine, a river so polluted that life itself could not survive in it. However, major rehabilitation efforts in recent years have been attempting to bring it back. And speaking of history, let's go back even further. Manila was once called the Pearl of the Orient due to its strategic location, a crucial hub for global trade for centuries. The Spanish built the famous Intramuros, literally within walls, a fortified city that still stands today. But then, World War II left the city in ruins. In fact, Manila was the second most destroyed Allied capital after Warsaw. Rebuilding was an enormous task, and remnants of both its colonial past and wartime devastation are still visible in its architecture today. But infrastructure isn't just about roads and rivers. It's about energy too. Power shortages. Oh, they're real. Manila's energy consumption has skyrocketed, but supply often struggles to keep pace. The Philippines relies heavily on imported fossil fuels, but there's a growing push for renewable energy: geothermal, solar, even wind. Yet, demand continues to outstrip supply, leading to blackouts that disrupt businesses, schools, and daily life. The challenge: balancing economic growth with sustainable energy solutions. One more thing: the informal settlements. Over 4 million people in Metro Manila live in slums, often in makeshift houses built on flood-prone areas or under bridges. It's a massive issue, but the government has been working on relocation programs, though they aren't always successful. The problem? Jobs. People relocate, but the jobs remain in the city center. So many end up returning, despite poor living conditions. Urban planning needs to be smarter, integrating housing with employment opportunities rather than pushing people to the periphery. And so, there you have it. Manila, one of the most densely populated cities on Earth, struggling with infrastructure, traffic, floods, energy, and housing, yet still a vibrant economic hub with a deep historical legacy. If you found this interesting, check out the video on Dhaka and Mumbai to see how they compare. Let me know in the comments, what do you think is the biggest challenge for high-density cities? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more mind-blowing facts on cities and infrastructure.